some important stuff to talk about here with Shiba Inu. Because as everyone knows, we've been having the crypto market dropping, pulling back today. Bitcoin is pretty much dragged everything down with it. And now we're seeing some lows of like 115K here inside of Bitcoin. So we got to talk about what's going to be happening next with Shiba Inu. Should you be getting in now? Is it a good time? And what is going on overall here with the crypto space? Is this just no more pump, no more 150K Bitcoin, no more 200K Bitcoin? What do we got to talk about? That's what we're here to talk about today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is financial advice, but let's go over this. So first thing is first, no, we're not going to zero with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not going to go to zero. I've heard people say, oh, it's going to go all the way down to 20K, 30K. We're just going to keep going down, down, down. No, it doesn't work like that. So, first of all, usually when the bull market ends and Bitcoin bottoms out in the first place, it doesn't go all the way to zero. It doesn't have to go down to 20K. It's typically going to go down to maybe the top of like the previous market if we're going to look at it from that perspective. So if we're looking at it from that perspective, we could easily see Bitcoin going to possibly, 74K or 80K, like before it goes back up. But what I want to talk about here is what I think is about to happen actually very soon for Bitcoin. So let's go over here and look at the Bitcoin price. Then we're also going to go over Shiba Inu as well. And I'm gonna give my prediction of what's gonna happen soon. So I've already kind of ran the numbers here with Bitcoin. The previous high back in February 2024 was 74K. I believe if we were to crash now, the bare minimum would be the highs of the previous market, which was close to 74K, not necessarily there, but that's our last major resistance for Bitcoin, which then becomes a major support, as you can see indicated by the 7th of April when we had that major drop in the market. We went all the way down to 74K. So on this pullback that we're seeing here, we're probably not going to see it going all the way down to 74K. I'm going to tell you that right now. And the reason why I'm talking about Bitcoin here is because everything's going to follow it. Shiba Inu is going to follow it. It's all good. So when the price is pulling back here, I'm looking for the highs of the previous pump that we just now had, which is going to be around 108K. So anywhere from 108K down to the bottom of that Fibonacci here. And this is the weekly chart, by the way. So anywhere from 108K, which is right about here, where these resistance areas are, and right down here with the support around 99K. If we go below 100 to 99K, that is super bearish. Super bearish, we're probably going to go down to 74K. If we break 99K and go lower, we're probably going to go down to 74K. But I don't think we're going to even get down to 99K. I truly believe we're going to stop at this Fibonacci here. So from about 105 to 108K. All right, somewhere around 105 to 108K, 99K at the lowest. If it goes below 99K, you better just step to the side, let it drop, and then buy at the bottom. That'd be your best bet at that point. But yeah, 108K down to 108K down to 99K at the lowest. But yeah, 108K, 105K, that's the better area. So what does this have to do with SHIB? Because as we know, the whole market is pulling back. Bitcoin's causing everything else to pull back. Shiba Inu is going down as well. What does this all mean for SHIB? So currently we are down 8.8% in the last 7 days. Bitcoin also down in the last 7 days, 5.7%. But that's a huge percentage for Bitcoin, which means when this money starts to flow back in the market, every single time we see these big pullbacks on Bitcoin, that money is usually flowing out of Bitcoin into altcoins. Some of the money flows back into Bitcoin, but not typically it's usually not always all of the money. Only some of it flows back into Bitcoin, right? So we have to really watch out and pay attention to what's happening here. Like the money is flowing into altcoins, most of it, and then some of it goes back into Bitcoin. And then a bunch of it flows into altcoins on the next drop, and then some of it flows back into Bitcoin. This is how it switches from altcoins or from Bitcoin season to altcoin season. Bitcoin's dominance slowly starts to wane down, and then you start to see the altcoin dominance slowly going up. Remember, Bitcoin dominance was at 59%. As you can see up here, now it's at 57.9%. So Bitcoin dominance is definitely slowing down, which means altcoins are definitely speeding up. And people are probably asking, like, what does this have to do again with sheep? First, before I show you that, just look at this. Like, this will tell you, like, we were very, very dominant with Bitcoin, 63.34% Bitcoin dominance on July 16th. Like, we are literally steady sitting around 60% Bitcoin dominance, and now we are back down to 57%. And that is actually a really, really, really big deal. Because if you look at all the previous times this has happened, like when Bitcoin was the most dominant, and then once it lost that dominance, that money immediately flew into altcoins. Now you can see Bitcoin dominance is right back up to where it once was. Again, over here on the right side, you can see how it's right back up to where it once was. But then it's going to start to go down sharp and steep, just like how it did back in 2021. So why does this matter for Shiba Inu? Because when that money flows from Bitcoin to the altcoins, it's going to flow into altcoins like Shiba Inu that have not pumped yet. It has not pumped in any of these rallies. It's only had like 2 pumps inside the last 3 years. And right now, these 2 pumps are very low. 0.00003, 0.000036, 24, like extremely low numbers for pumps for Shiba Inu. So the money will flow into Sheep. And look at Sheep, look how it is literally so close to the bottom. Sheep is literally near its bottom. It's near its all-time low. This is the time to buy it. Not near the all-time low, let's not say that. But it is near the bottom. This is a good time to buy. We have been inside this wedge pattern since the beginning of 2024, from March 2024. Well, really from February 2024, the end of February of 2024 until now. So we've been in here over a year and a half inside of this wedge pattern. And now the next move is going to be that move upwards, breaking out of this wedge pattern. So we're going to see massive gains for Shiba Inu. Massive gains. And for starters, the first one that I kind of want to look at here is just going to the previous highs of March of 2024. So that is this level right here, 268% up just for that. And don't even get me started on the all-time highs for the previous market of sheep. Like, if you look all the way back here at these all-time highs from 2021, 621% to the upside. And you know it'll probably end up hitting that Fibonacci retracement before any type of major pullback. So that's 735% from where we are now. So just to kind of put things into perspective here, you have $10,000. Let's say you divide it by 0.1234, 12,505, that's the current price, giving you 799 million coins, multiplying that by that target price up here of 0.000102857, $82,000 off of $10,000. Just getting to the new all-time high at Sheep. So my price prediction is 0.0001 for Sheep. So I'm probably gonna do a whole price prediction video, but yeah, 0.0001 for Sheep. So yeah, that's my price prediction here. And I think it's gonna end up hitting that. For this bull run, some people are like, hey, it'll go up higher. I do believe it'll go up higher, but like this is like a modest price prediction. Just getting above, a little bit above our previous all-time high still gives you 735% still. So I'm all right with that. That's a 8.35% X right there. So that's a huge gain, huge amounts of gains. And it can probably continue to go up higher, even to the top Fibonacci at 0.00015. 3 zeros, 1 5. I think it can do that too. But we're gonna be patient here. We're just gonna let the market play out. Just let Bitcoin continue to do its thing and drop. Looking at some technicals here on Bitcoin, we can see we are selling off a lot here. And the RSI has crossed, so it has confirmed it's going down some more. So there's that. If you want to look at the weekly chart, a little bit bearish here on the weekly chart too. So I think it'll go about halfway down, just kind of like how I did before here, and then have a recovery, or it could literally recover from where we are now and validate the MACD, because the MACD is showing that it's going into the bearish volume here, bearish momentum. Then you can also see the RSI is showing it crossing and going back downwards as well. So that's for the weekly chart. But what I like right here is the 1 hour chart. The 1 hour chart is oversold. So if you actually look here on the RSI, oversold here on the RSI for the 1 hour chart. The MACD, a lot of overselling. Is definitely going to start going upwards. So you could probably make a little bit of a trade to the upside if we hit this Fibonacci at 113K. So what I'm expecting, like 113 to 112K. This area here is, I guess, a good swing trading area for Bitcoin, just for people that are interested in that. And Shiba Inu will probably start to go up around that time too, as well as everything else. But it could easily get rejected and do what we were talking about before and go down to about 108K to 105K. So these are the two. This is the Fibonacci area we gotta watch out for. It's all right if we hit this level, 113K. Even if we come all the way down to 105K, that's still fine, because this is an important area. But once we start breaking 105K and we start heading towards 99K, that is when it makes or breaks us. Because if we break 99K, this bull market is done. It's finished. Finito is literally going to crash from there if it hits 99K and goes below 99K. So we don't want to see that. We want to see it stay in the range of 115K, like 112K, 108K, 105K. Do not want it to go below 100K. We just want to see 105K to about 108K. That's all we want to see here. So yeah, we're doing good though. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and that is financial advice. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you want me to go over next. And as always, I'll be back with another video.